Hello, YouTubers. Joe Kersey here on Saturday, November 4th, uh, 2017. Officially, it's 21:11 in the evening, Eastern Time, because we haven't shifted over to daylight. Well, we haven't shifted off daylight savings time yet. Uh, But I've already set my clocks ahead, or behind rather, such that as far as I'm concerned, it's 8:11 or 20:11 Eastern Time. Of course, I'll probably give us about 3 weeks, and then they'll shift back, given the way they tend to run these things. So who knows what's going to happen? God bless us all. Thank you very much. Now, I read tomorrow in church, and in some churches it would be All Saints Sunday. I don't know if it's, if it is. I probably ought to print off the All Saints Sunday readings rather than the standard proper whatever number it is readings. Yeah. Although Terry Highland doesn't usually pull fast ones on that like Charles Wilson used to do. He used to change things up all the time and do audibles, and so you always had to be prepared and try to anticipate him and so forth. That's just lay reader stuff, huh? Now, today I'm going to tell you a little story about how Joe was, and probably will continue to be from time to time, an absolute fucking fool. I am one of the most naive persons on earth. I'll be the first to tell you that. Now, about 4 weeks ago, I'm cruising around on Grindr, as one does when one's heart is filled with lust. And lust and loneliness. There you go. Those are the sort of like the two major components of cruising around on Grindr, I guess. That sounds pathetic, doesn't it? But that's the truth of the matter. And so here's this guy, and he says he's in Afghanistan, in the army in Afghanistan. And, okay, fine. Yeah, and there's some pictures, and they're all very, clean pictures. They're all very clothed, and, it's not like, the standard Grindr picture, just a cock, It's just sort of like the standard Grindr picture. Oh, I didn't recognize your face because all I saw was your cock picture. Okay, you go back and forth a little bit, and this, there's probably about an exchange every 2 or 3 days. This is over the last 3.5 weeks, probably 4 weeks, maybe. And and the guy says he's gonna when he comes back home, he's gonna retire. He's gonna be, because he's 44, and so presumably he's been in the military for a number of years. He's a staff sergeant. That's what he says. Says. All right, fine. And then the most recent couple of days exchange involved him saying that, a couple of men in his unit got killed. Okay. And then an exchange after that is he wanted to get an iTunes card so that, you have iTunes and all this. Well, so meanwhile, I talked with my nephew, Ed, about this guy, and he says it doesn't sound right. And I said I was thinking that myself. I wasn't. It just didn't sound right. And so today, I get the latest thing, isn't it? Well, he wanted my address. Okay, so I sent him my address. Okay, and I tossed in my cell phone number because I thought maybe we could WhatsApp. And then today he comes back and he says, he says he wants my birthday. And he tells me his birthday, allegedly. I already told the guy my birthday. And it eventually just got so it didn't sound right. Let's see if I can read you some of this crap here real fast. I asked him for his an APO address. He says, babe, we no more use the APO address again because the Taliban's here send weapons and bombs through our APO address. I would like for you to get me an old phone, cookies, and some T-shirts for my birthday. I contacted the superior. That's what he calls his commander, the superior. That just doesn't sound right. And he said, a man in the state delivers packages to troops here, and he was just here the last 2 weeks. His name is Scott. Babe, I will go for Scott's address when you're ready to send the items. I will be very much glad to get an old phone so I can talk with you and listen to our sweet voice. I lost my phone on my way to patrol, babe, but was not able to tell you till now. Thank you once again for coming in my life. You are king to be the first person to send me a gift here in Camp Phoenix, babe. I'm very excited about it. Kisses and hugs, Clark. Well, that's, even for me, I figured out that's some sort of damn scam. First of all, an APO address is still in use. I mean, those things have not been discontinued. A simple Google showed that. So I said, Dear Clark, I admire your perseverance in trying to extract information from me. The fact of the matter is that my nephew has said that your syntax in these emails is not all consistent with the military realities of how soldiers talk, especially those nearing retirement and separation. For example, quote, my superior, unquote. You're clearly catfishing me, and any further interaction is hereby terminated. This last email made this abundantly clear after the request for the iTunes card. Nice try. I am slow in the uptake, and have always been, as you undoubtedly sensed right from the get-go. Enjoy the $100 worth of iTunes card, and like everything in life, education gets more expensive the older you get. Do not, under any circumstances, try to have further contact with me, Joe S. Kersey. And I put that last sentence in caps. So that's that's the news here from today. This is like, on the off chance I'm completely wrong about this guy, I'm going to have some really, really, really definitive and hard proof before I proceed further. I don't think that's going to be forthcoming. We'll see. So, no, it just didn't sound right. This guy, syntactically, you almost wonder if he's an English as a second language guy. It's almost literally correct, or grammatically correct, but just. And then the military terminology, because I've talked with my nephew often enough to know that you don't talk about things like that the way he was talking about things like that. Well, that's been my little adventure here recently. So meanwhile, that's about it. I'm going to read in church tomorrow by the grace of God. And as I probably mentioned right at the start, so I tend to go on about that a bit. And I'll say bye-bye, YouTubers.